Hello and welcome to this video on the Multimedia Sherpa channel, where we're going to show you how to animate a more complex scrolling background using the classic tween. So if you haven't seen the basic background tutorial, click here or wherever you see it flash up and watch and complete that tutorial first. This video follows on very much from that. So the basic scrolling background was just one layer where the background moved. Now what you need to do is you need to think about how your animation might want some more depth. So what we've done here is I've got an example on here of a main character, and then in the background you can see a row of houses and trees, and it all moves across. Now that's using just two layers, one for the character, one for the background. If we want to start adding some depth, you can see I've got some extra layers here that have been hidden. The next layer is of a forest in the background moving across, and then after that we've got extra trees, and then after that we've got a cityscape. So I'll quickly run through how to do that and what you need to do. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to delete these layers and we'll start from scratch. Okay, so there we are. This is our basic one from frame one. The character looks like they're moving to the viewer's left, and so that's where it should be. If you're not, check that other tutorial. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a layer, and we want it to go behind this character. So we're adding some depth to what's going on. So I'll go to my library where I've already created some like forests and stuff like that to be used in graphic symbols. So I'll drag them onto the stage, and what we should see hopefully is they appear. I'll have to probably zoom out and resize them a little bit to fit in, and you might want to quickly have a look at what else you have here so that you can position them where they need to be and do what you need to do with it. So I'll put them kind of there. They're going to be smaller than the trees in the foreground because it's going to look like they're in the distance, and move them there. Okay, so that's it. That's pretty easy. If in the end frame we add a keyframe, so we've got one to start and one to finish, F6, and then I move the trees across to about there. That will do. And then we need to add the classic tween. That's kind of the key to everything here. Create classic tween. What we should see is when I press Control Enter and test the movie, is you've got the main character who stays still on the screen, then you've got the next layer which moves fairly quick, and then the layer behind to add depth moves a bit slower. Next time you're in a car, look out the window and you'll notice that whatever's in the distance doesn't really seem to be moving because it's quite far away, but whatever's close to you is whizzing by really fast, and that's what we should see if this computer's actually ever going to catch up with us. So there we go. We can see the foreground moving quite quickly and the background moving a bit slower. We're going to add even more depth to that, and all we're going to do is add in a new layer, and this time we're actually just going to copy and paste those. Oops, we need to paste them on the right layer. Paste those trees, make sure they go behind the current ones. We'll make them a little bit smaller. Well, that's quite a lot smaller, just a little bit. I'll zoom in so I can actually see what's going on here. Add them kind of here. That'll be frame 1, frame 100, I believe. No, sorry, 210. Quite a long animation. And then we move them across, and we should see that they're moving even slower now. What we've got to do first, add the classic tween, the key to everything. Control Enter, and hopefully that will kind of kick in. So there we see foreground moving quickly, next one moving a bit slower, the one behind moving even slower still. And to add the final bit of depth to this animation, what we're going to do is add another layer in, put it to the bottom. I've already prepared this terrible looking cityscape, if I can find it. Street, no. See, this is why it's always really, really, really important. Here we go. Cityscape, cool. Add that in. Put it to the back. Cities are generally quite big, but it is off in the distance. Obviously, when you're doing your animation, spend some more time on, you know, your drawings. Don't just fudge everything together so you can get a tutorial out the window. I'm just going to move it ever so slightly. That'll do, because it's not going to be moving very far. And then create classic tween. I maybe have even moved that city too far. We'll see. And then you can start tweaking and seeing what's going on and where. Okay, so it's moving ever so slightly. The foregrounds are moving quicker in their stages, and we're starting to get depth to our animation. And that's it. That's a real easy way of making a scrolling background with more detail. There are other things that you can do to enhance it, and we'll get onto that in a tutorial later on. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Okay, cheers.